dude. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. You know what we do here, unboxing videos, reviews, show coverages. And today I'd like to go over the Surfboard Soundqubed S1-2250. First impressions of this thing. This is a huge amplifier, especially for 2250 watts. Let's just get this thing open. Oh yeah. Put this over here for a second. Let's see what else is in the box. Product manual, bass controller cord, Allen keys, I'm assuming for the 1/0 inputs and for the speaker inputs. No idea what this is. All right, so where were we? Ethernet cord, box of, I have no idea what, essential hardware, product manual, and of course, we're gonna be guessing a bass knob. Would you look at that? This is actually pretty sick. On the front of the bass knob, we get a Soundqubed with the Soundqubed logo on top of it. We get a power light, we get a clip light, we get the min on the left and the max on the right. On the bottom of the knob, we get the awesome Soundqubed logo. On the back side of the knob, we get the plug-in for the cord. This knob also comes with flanges for some screws to mount it wherever you need. This knob has really nice feedback. We have the cord to connect the amp to the bass knob. And we have some Allen keys for the 1/0 power input and the ground input. And we have a smaller Allen key for the speaker terminals. This thing looks like it could be a 5K amplifier. This thing is absolutely massive. We just gotta find out. This thing has a length of 19.5 inches. This unit has a girth of 7.75 inches. One of the most important sizes that matters to any bass head. And she has a height of 2.25 inches. Again, I have no idea why this Soundqubed S1-2250 is so huge, but it is, and I like it. This thing's gotta be pretty dynamic. I mean, just by the size of this thing, for 2250 watts, there's gotta be a lot of components in here giving you power across the board. So this amp's operational voltage is 8.5 volts to 16 volts. If you're dropping into the single digit voltage range, add another battery, please. This amplifier's power rating are all rated at 14.4 volts. At 1 ohm, we'll get 2300 watts. At 2 ohms, we'll get 1300 watts. And at 4 ohms, we'll get 800 watts. Now, this thing is capable up to 16 volts, and at that voltage range, you'll get up to 2800 watts out of this thing. Now, why are the 2 ohm and 4 ohm numbers important? Well, mainly because you always have box rise. When the subwoofer moves up and down, your impedance changes as the frequency changes. Some people have 4, 5, 6 times box rise, so if you're wired at 1 ohm, some people can be rising to 4 ohm, to 6 ohm. How much power are you getting out of that? Honestly, if you have more rise in your build is just considered efficient. So no, box rise is not bad. Now, a really cool feature about this Soundqubed S1-2250 is also strappable. What is strapping? Well, it's pretty much when you have two of the same amplifiers, you plug in a strap cable between both, and both of your amplifiers act as one large amplifier. So you're no longer having to adjust the gains and crossovers of 2 amps. You can just link them together, strapped. You can adjust the settings on one, and it'll adjust the settings on the slave as well. You're pretty much just combining both amplifiers and making one giant amp. Now let's jump around to the side of the amplifier and see what we get in this thing. On this side of the amp, first thing we can see are the inputs on the left and right. We have the power light, the protect light. We have our gain filter, our subsonic filter, our remote input for the included bass knob, low pass filter adjustments. And this is the switch I was talking about. So if you want to run this by itself, you want to leave it on main. But if you want to run another S1-2250, you want to switch this switch to strap and then plug in this RCA into your other amplifier. We can also see that we have plenty of venting on top and the bottom of the amplifier. And the heatsink on this thing is just absolutely insane. Jumping around to the other side, we can see that we have our 1/0 ground input, our remote input, and our 1/0 power input. On the right-hand side, we have our 10 gauge inputs for our speaker wire. We have negative, negative, and positive, positive, which honestly I really enjoy. I'd rather have a negative, negative, positive, positive than positive, negative, positive, negative. It just makes things clean. So if you're running different color wires or not crossing over, you just have black, black, red, red, not black, red, black, red. On the top of the amp, we can see the Soundqubed with the logo in the middle. And like I was saying earlier, all of this heatsink is ran throughout the entire amplifier. And the sides look like they even have more heatsink. Let's flip this thing over and see what she has on her underside. Right off the bat, we have plenty of holes on this thing. We have 8 sets of 16 drilled holes in the backplate. The backplate is also recessed under the mounting feet and the heatsink. This can be really beneficial for mounting your amplifier because air will be able to flow underneath and through the amplifier rather than just sitting there and soaking in it. Aside from the insane heatsink on top, aside from the even more insane heatsink on the side, and the recessed backplate with 8 sets of 16 cut holes, this thing's gonna be plenty fine for breathing. I just can't get over how big this thing is, especially for only being 2250 watts. I feel like there's gotta be a misprint or something because this thing, it weighs as much as a 5K amplifier. It's as big as a 5K amplifier, but why is it half the rating of a 5K? Well, there's gotta be a lot of components in this thing. What it sounds like to me is they beefed up a lot of the internal components to handle much more abuse, probably handle some heat better. This Soundqubed S1-2250 is probably the beefiest 2K amplifier I've ever seen, held, felt, lifted, looked at. Like I said, it feels like a 5K, it looks like a 5K. It'll put out some good power for you. These things have made a name for themselves and for obvious reasons. You can find this amplifier at skyhighcardio.com alongside any of your favorite dealers and distributors. Thanks for watching the video, guys. Catch you in the next one. I'm gonna go put this on the test bench.